People in New Richmond want to take back their town from drug dealers. Officials from the Ohio Attorney General's office are there tonight to help. They're offering advice on how the community can fight the growing heroin crisis.
I'm seeing bicycles with, handoffs of drugs, and I'm seeing pushers back and forth on the street.
Local 12's Rich Jaffe is live tonight in New Richmond with more on the problem in a story you'll see only on Local 12. Rich.
Curtis, since we first broke this story yesterday about how bold the heroin dealers have become here in New Richmond and how overwhelmed law enforcement is, there's been a lot of powerful response. But here's the bottom line. Drug dealers, for the most part, are like cockroaches, and this, a chair, is one of the best weapons that the business community has against them. What you do is you take your chair, you put it on your sidewalk, on your street, you take a seat, and you make them feel uncomfortable. Christina Rreissig opened her River Village shop on Front Street in New Richmond about a year ago. Her large front window gives her a unique view on the world just outside.
I'm seeing bicycles with, handoffs of drugs, and I'm seeing pushers back and forth on the street, and I'm seeing mothers actually being pushers, walking with their children with them in their assistance and watching what their parents are doing these drug deals.
As vice president of the Business Owners Association, Reissig knows residents and business owners in this quaint river village have been working hard over the last few years to stimulate business and clean up things. But their new heroin battlefront is one that's caught them by surprise. Most people can't imagine the ugly undercurrent here, but Reissig says shoppers are actually being scared off by the drug dealers they see on the streets.
You can see them pull off to the side and shoot up right there on our streets or in a car right in front of our establishments.
One new business in town also has people concerned. A drug and alcohol rehab center quietly set up shop on the edge of the village. Admittedly overwhelmed by heroin cases and small-time dealers, New Richmond Police Chief Randy Harvey's asked for help from the Attorney General's office. He clearly understands the concern of the business owners.
They're trying to operate businesses, and they're having to see these hand-to-hand deals, and these things are taking place right underneath their nose. I see it myself. I watch it on a daily basis. Illegal drugs, heroin being delivered on foot from building to building to building, and yet there's nothing I can do about it, for the most part.
Now, understand, it is not that Chief Harvey doesn't want to make those cases. The reality here is that the courts and the prosecutors and the legal system are so jammed up with drug cases, particularly heroin cases, that the smaller cases just don't go anywhere. And nobody's sure what the big picture answer is, and that's why they've called in the Attorney General. But one thing is for certain, in communities like this one and all across the area, the good people in those communities, the business owners, the residents, have got to take a stand and take their neighborhoods back. In New Richmond, Rich Jaffe, Local 12 News.
Some powerful advice tonight. Rich, thank you. Tonight's meeting begins at 6. It's being held at the old Market Street School building, and we'll have it covered for you and bring you what they plan to do tonight on Local 12 News, live at 11.